Hey everybody, welcome back to another video with Gem Mint Masters. We got kind of video number 2 of our Michael Jordan collection here. So on the first one, I showed you kind of everything that was in this collection. There was somewhere around 700, maybe just over 700 total cards, all top loaded, all great condition. Very, few that were in there that were not well taken care of over the last, couple decades. A lot of this stuff is, early to mid 90s. So to see him in this shape was pretty amazing to see, to be honest. So I spent a lot of time, I love cards. It's a passion for me. And once I got this set, it just brought back so many memories. And I sat down and probably took about 8 hours going through all this stuff and really kind of first picking out the ones I thought looked really good, and then taking each one out of the case, looking over the surface, corners, everything really good, and deeming it for ready for grading. So out of the 700 plus cards, my first go around here, I've actually found I think 101 cards that I'm gonna send off to grading. Do I expect all 10s? Absolutely not. Do I expect some? I would sure hope so. But again, this is kind of a grand experiment I'm gonna try. I'm starting with 4. I've kind of got them into stacks here. 4 orders. I usually send around 20 cards per order. I think these each have 25, and one of them has 26. So I'm gonna start with these 4 stacks. A lot of duplicates in here, as you probably saw in the last video. But I'll go through kind of each order, and I've spread everything out as much as possible. I didn't want to send, let's say if I'm sending 10 of one card, I didn't want to send all 10 on one order. So I've got maybe like 2, 2, 3, 3 or something like that. So I really wanted to split those up as much as I possibly could. My thought is also to actually send these as 4 separate orders, but have them all shipped back together, so that I can save on the shipping. And that return shipping can be pretty expensive because it is insured. You have to sign for it, all that. If I can get these there in separate orders, or I could send them in one box, but I want to keep them as 4 separate submissions so that 4 different graders get them as well, which is always a strategy I've used. Could that be good? Could that be bad? I don't know. If you get a bad grader, or what people call a bad grader, just and they grade all of your cards, you might not be happy with the results, but maybe you get a good one, you get all good grades, who knows. But I kind of want to mix up my spread out the risk a little bit, try 4 different orders, and see how I do on this first pass. And then if I like the results, I might go back through that box and pull out some more and send them, or just say, you know what, these cards are in really great shape, I'm just going to go out and kind of go back and sell these, move on, maybe try my hand at something else. So we'll see. So let's go ahead and kind of start here. This is order number 1. Got a bunch of 90s stuff. Again, not super high end, but also like not very low end as well. So, we got some hoops, tops, a lot of like this kind of stuff right here where they're like the base cards. These definitely sell in the $100 to $200 range in a PSA 10. So I think those were a little bit easier to justify sending. I've got 2 of this Stadium Club. This is another like insert in that Ultra set, that 92, 93 Ultra. Got some really cool poses on a lot of these cards. This is probably one of the lower end of the bunch, around $40 in a PSA 10. But then you've got like, this one was interesting. This is the only one that I pulled out of here. This is actually a Topps Gold, if you can see it. That's the only gold that was in here. Definitely not like the best centering, but since it's a gold, I'm going to send that one anyway. It looks sharp. We got some tops, couple 91 Fleer base. Again, these are kind of the ones that'll be a little bit better, in the $100 range. This is actually a pretty decent card right here. This Michael versus Magic. People seem to like that one. I showed you on the first video, there was like 50 of this. I think I pulled out like 8. So I'm being extremely picky on this first round, and see how I do. A couple, these are nice, $75 card. This Game Faces, there was about 50 of those. I think I pulled out 5 or 6. But this particular set right here, this 90, what is it? 92, 93 Fleer had a lot of really sharp corners, and since this is a gold border, you'd be able to see if there's chipping and stuff, and these really don't have any, which was crazy. So super excited about that. And then another Stadium Club triple double to round it out. Those are such cool cards. Super glossy on the finish, so when you look at the front, you can definitely spot any flaws, and they really didn't have any, some of them. So super excited about that. Gonna see a lot of the same stuff as I mentioned in this next order. More hoops, tops, different skybox. That one is the Series 2 base. I think I only found a few of this, man. There was so many of those in there, but really only a few that I felt super confident about. Again, we're seeing a lot of the same. I think I ended up with about 8 or 9 of this card. These all looked really good. This is another Michael Magic, another All-Star. We got 2 in that one. Another Skybox, a couple Game Faces, and then a whole bunch more of this Fleer. And then another Stadium Club, and I think I only ended up with 1 of these. There was only a few in that box. I think there was only about 3, so I'm going to try 1 of those too. So give me a good idea of kind of how these grade too, if it's worth sending some of the other ones that were close. Yeah, so all right. Third stack here, kind of again, you're seeing a lot of the same stuff. I think there's only 1 or 2 of those I ended up pulling out for now. I think only 1 or 2 of those. This one's going to be interesting. This is like a $200 to $300 card in a PSA 10. They're just I think the gem rate is like 7% or something insane. So I'm not really holding my breath I'm going to get that, but I'm going to send a few of those. That would be pretty awesome. A couple more of those. Another Michael Magic, couple more All-Stars. I mean, there was so many of these in there. I'm hoping to get some decent copies of those. More Game Faces, and then a whole bunch more of this Fleer again. Those just look so good. Stadium Club, and then I think this might be the only one of this tops as well. The gold in this is a really sought-after card as well. Tops gold. All right, last stack. Again, you're going to see a lot of similarities in this one. I think I only had 1 of those in there. A couple more Stadium Club. I think I only did a few of these because, again, these are kind of lower end, so I didn't want to go crazy in submitting a lot of those. I want to just see how they do first, and then I'll kind of take it from there. Another Michael Magic, and another All-Star. Got a couple more. We ended up with a bunch of really good-looking copies of this. At least I'm hoping. Game Faces, and then, again, more of this Fleer. There's so many of these in here. They just look so sharp. Okay, and there's another one of those. So I did end up with 2 of that one. And then another Stadium Club triple-double. So, all right. 101 cards on this first go-around. That's insane. I was expecting, I think I kind of went into this a little optimistic, but also realistic. And I said, out of 700 cards, I'm hoping 10% of them are good, gradable copies, which would be about 70. So I ended up with just over 100. What will these results look like? Time will tell. I'm no magician here, but I'm hoping the lessons I've learned and the work I put in on this really does pay off. But you guys are here to experience this journey with me, and we will see together how we do on these. Again, this is something I've wanted to do for a long time. I don't know if it's going to be worth it in the end, but again, I'll learn valuable lessons either way. This is where I'm stopping right now. And again, see how we do, and then take it from there. So this is my second video on this Jordan collection. So stay along for the ride for the rest of the videos on this. We're going to send these off, see how they come back. They should all come back at once if I do it the way I'm thinking I want to do it, just to kind of save a little bit on the shipping costs. Especially like coming back, like I said, you'll probably save $60 to $100 on shipping if I ship all these together. So I think I'll probably end up doing something like that. But thanks for joining me. Drop a like, comment, subscribe. Michael Jordan collection video number 2. Man, am I excited? Man, am I nervous? Is this risky? Yes, it is. But this is going to be fun either way. So Until next time, thanks. See ya.